And then there was this coming to Jesus moment where you're like, I've never done this before.
You have to think real long and hard. Should this actually be a podcast? Is this interesting enough?
If you ask for an opinion, you're going to get an honest opinion. You just may not want to
Absolutely.
hear it. There's no small jobs here, man. Yeah, you got the wallet for that. You got the bag for that. Shooting photographers is one of the hardest things to do. Would AI have edited Johnny Carson's show when he did his famous pause? You know how he would pause?
Who's that? Johnny?
Johnny Carson? Did I say it in a weird, like, Hispanic way? On this episode today, I'm talking with somebody that, if you've been a long-time listener, is Brandon Don. He was the original co-host of this podcast when we were just focused on crypto, blockchain, and Web3. But now we're talking about podcasts because we have a podcast studio, and it's been quite a learning experience, quite an onboarding. So let's just dive right into it. But today, we're not talking about crypto today.
No, we're not.
We're talking about something that's become near and dear to our heart.
Yes.
Podcasts.
Podcasting.
Yeah, but framing it up properly, because the show's about, it's about talking about the future of things, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought it was a perfect time because there's going to be some shameless plugs in this, okay?
Yes.
Just right
all
up front.
Shameless.
Not all. I had to pause. But there is going to be some shameless plugs, right?
Yes. Yeah,
because we're talking about Visible Audio Studios, which is where we record this show, but we have Visible Audio Studios here in Century City, Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
Look us up. We're going to be talking from our experiences and our perspective. You've been running the tech on it, the build out of it from when we first started.
Yeah.
So you've onboarded, because I remember I had this thought in my mind like, oh, Brandon knows how to shoot podcasts. This was 5 years ago, whatever.
Yep.
But you didn't. But for some reason, I just had this assumption like, oh, he knows it all. So anytime there was a issue.
Did, but I didn't. I didn't know it all. I mean, I knew how to shoot a podcast. My wife and I have made movies. I've worked in the film industry for years. Years and years.
I know.
And years.
That's our joke around here. It's like, oh, you've only been doing this for 82 years.
Yeah.
Changes all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it lends itself in a way, but they're totally different. It's very interesting. So there has been a learning curve for both of us.
Oh yeah, but I beat you up harder in the beginning. I did.
In the beginning, yeah,
I did.
Definitely did.
Because I had this assumption that, like, you just knew. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah.
And then there was this coming to Jesus moment where you're like, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was 4 years ago. We were in the middle of something. I'm like, wait, you haven't done it before? But I thought, and you're like, when? And so, yeah. But anyways, we're coming from that perspective all the way to today. I wouldn't say.
Well, I mean, it started with us talking about crypto. We're like, hey, let's do a podcast. And then other people came to us and were like, hey, can you do our podcast? And we're like, absolutely. Then we started doing other people's podcasts. And then we're like, we should have a place where we'll do podcasts. So then we got Visible Audio Studios. Great. And then slowly just built it up out of clients' needs, wants, what we've seen as trends in
requests,
sorry.
Constant requests.
Requests,
we get some interesting requests.
Yeah, I mean, the table, like
table. Yeah, like we're becoming a mini IKEA, brother.
Yes, that's true. That's true. We have a lot of tables.
Home goods, chairs.
It's been interesting. We've got a couple different styles. It started out
light bars.
Just over there was the wood walls.
Well, if you want to go back to where we were first shooting in Seal Beach, we were just shooting at our boys' real estate.
Absolutely.
Spot.
Yeah. Shout out to
Cameron.
You forgot his name. West Coast ADU.
Oh, you remember the company? We don't remember Cameron.
I remember Cameron.
I know. You guys were talking about football.
Tall Kansas guy. Yeah.
He was tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a man. Like he's a
big boy.
Man. Yeah.
Big boy. So anyway, we get to that point. Now we're servicing other clients' needs, and I'm learning with them how they operate their podcasts.
I was wondering if you were going to name drop
my podcasts. What do you mean?
I was wondering if you were going to name drop when you're like,
I'm not the name dropper.
All right. I've seen you drop a few around.
So when
but don't do it.
When Hugh Jackman and I were working on Logan,
because you placed the stump there.
Yes, very professional.
But we get to go. We're gonna talk a little bit about some of that context, but jumping into the future of podcasts as we see it.
Yeah.
Just some of the stuff we're dealing with. So if you were
Mhm.
somebody who wanted to create your own studio, or you have a studio,
Yes.
or you just want to shoot your own stuff, or you want
Mhm.
looking for a place to shoot, we're going to talk about some just candid things, I would think,
Yeah.
and how
Sure.
some people can be a pain in the ass,
Sure.
and some people can't pay their bill. We're not going to name drop.
Sure.
We're not going to name drop.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like anything, running a business,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And you have your regulars,
Yep.
and then you have people that want
Love
the
the
television
regulars.
show on a podcast budget or even below podcast. And everybody's like, I have my editor in Egypt, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, all these different places,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, cool, we get it. But there's so many different
Yeah.
tiers. So without just lambasting like a, full brain fart dump of information, we
Yeah.
should probably structure this. So
Yeah.
how about this?
Let's start with shooting
Let's
or
start
scheduling.
with oh, God, you had to start with scheduling. That's
Well, I
like
mean,
one of the biggest pains.
That's where it starts. You
Does
have
it
this
start there?
Well, I mean, I guess you have an idea of a podcast. So you have a lot of people that are like, "Hey, I think this should be a podcast." You have to think real long and hard. Should this actually be a podcast? Is this interesting enough? Is this going to get viewers, or am I interested in this topic long enough to collect enough viewers to make it like a viable product?
I was going to interrupt you, but I saw you were running with that. You were cooking. And so I was
Thanks,
like, I'm
man.
going to let you cook. So to your point, okay, let's start from there.
Yeah.
Should your podcast exist?
Yes.
And what's our rule of thumb that we tell everybody on our first walkthrough? We're not here to give you our opinion. We're here to provide good hospitality and do our jobs. Our job is to deliver, if you're shooting video, which most are, and audio, quality exports. That's our job. We do everything with RAW. We
Make
export
it
in
look
RAW.
good, sound good.
Yeah, we
Give
do
you
everything
those.
we can to control. But as far as your content, we do not offer our opinion unless you ask. Because most of the time, people don't really care about each other's opinions unless, you know what I mean, already.
Yeah.
And people just like to assert an opinion on something without enough context.
If you're at this point where you actually book and you're coming in, you've thought about it enough in order to get here to this point.
That's true.
So then, like, my opinion on your podcast has no bearing on your podcast.
Yeah, but it's not our place.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in our opinion, it's not our place. If you ask, we'll give you our honest opinion, but a lot of times we don't have the context too. But to your point, people do need to think it through. I think there's almost an audience for everything now. It's just about capturing their attention, right?
Yes.
And so adoption, if you want to consider it adoption, as far as
and how you're going to capture that,
and how you're going to capture that, because we've had a lot of people, we've had some big names come on different people's podcasts in the studio, and it doesn't get the views. And then we've had no names go on other people's podcasts, and it does get views. I mean, but there's no rhyme or reason to some of it if you're starting out, right?
Yeah.
But the ones that are fully baked, that have been doing it a while, they know it's not an overnight success, that a lot of people have been grinding out for years already.
Let's see, what was it? It had like 4 or 5 names, but that podcast where they were talking about video game and video game developers, and I think it was German or Dutch individual.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yes.
I
So
remember
when I
them
was
coming in.
talking with her about podcasts, they fly all over the world and interview people.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, how long have you guys been doing it? And they were saying that they were trying to get to the 3-year mark. 3 years, 100 episodes.
I was just going to say, within that 3 years, what was the cadence of the episodes getting put out? Because we don't put these out with the proper cadence. We're trying to.
Well, I mean, we've got businesses to run.
Well, we do. It's true. We do have business. I mean, but we can say this very factually that you need to stick to the schedule. Whatever that is, if it's once a month, once every 2 months, I mean, not everybody can just put out stuff whenever they want. There are people who can.
Yeah, Drewski,
Drewski.
Yeah.
There was another gentleman I was thinking about.
One of my favorite podcasts that I listened to went from weekly, and I was like every Monday, like, yes, okay. And then went bi-weekly. Well, they did like a 2-month break, and I was just like, did they quit?
right?
Like it felt very jarring, and then now they're on a 2-week cadence.
Well,
So
that's when you start talking about the relationship that happens between the people on the pods, the hosts, whoever's frequently there, and the audience. There's a connection that happens.
it's parasocial. They
Yes.
call it. Yeah.
Well, thank you
Yeah.
for that. I love
You're welcome.
labels. I love labels.
That's my chauffeur knowledge.
No. We could talk more about chauffeur knowledge. This is actually firsthand knowledge in this particular case.
Oh,
this is
thank
not
you.
chauffeur knowledge for you
okay.
in this one, all right?
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about right now. You're not just passing
you.
it off as your information or your you're 10 toes down in this business.
Sometimes.
Lighting. Well, no, let's not talk about lighting it. Let's just we were already at, just having your podcast exist.
You have your podcast idea.
And
scheduling and booking.
Scheduling and booking, and how many episodes you want to shoot.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that there's a magic number.
No.
And everybody does it a little bit differently. I will say that if you lead with intention, you're putting the best possible product out there, right? It's not accidental. Now, mind you, I do think people need to find their voice if they haven't already done it for a period of time. You know what I mean? Because it is. You have to find what works for you, what come across well to people both on camera and on audio.
Yeah.
And then your guests, and there's so many elements to it, right? And it's like,
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts about it?
Can I fix your mic real quick?
You can fix anything you want.
Yeah, point it more
up.
This way.
This way?
No, the other way.
That way.
Whoa. Yeah, pull it back.
Boom.
And a little more towards you.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Do we get the little end cap, the logo in the shot? Yours is taller, so this is like a low-key flex that you're taller than me. Don't worry, my ego wasn't assailed. So once you've decided, I'm going to pull this trigger, I'm going to do this podcast, or if you're already doing it, booking and scheduling. Because guests, if you have guests, everybody runs on their own timetable, both in showing up on time, showing up ready. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, and it's not the easiest to get in this place because our floor is locked down because of the French consulate.
I like how you brought it back to our specific studio.
Well, I mean, just realistically, you know what I mean?
Well, so and I think when we've had certain high-profile people come through, they've liked the way that the security is here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it feels safe. There are ways to come in and where you're able to maintain anonymity. But anywhere that you're going to shoot, my opinion is, and I know we're talking about booking and scheduling, but this is the very human part of it. You need to feel comfortable. Whoever your guests are, it doesn't matter their age, their gender, anything. They need to feel safe, in my opinion. If they're going to be communicating and they're going to be shot on camera, they need to feel safe. And we've had comments about that where people do feel safe. It wasn't, I don't think, we talked a little bit about it because we had shot our own pods before, but it really became clear once we started doing it that was important to make sure people feel they're safe. You know what I mean? They're not going to feel, because there's a lot of things that end up on the editing floor, I'm sure. I know with the stuff we've shot that we edit for, stuff ends up on the editing floor. So it's like, what are your thoughts about that? Especially as it relates to how they should be made to feel when they come into a studio, any studio.
Yeah. Well, you want to feel welcome. You want to feel at home someplace, right? Mm-hmm. So like, that's the kind of cool thing about podcasting is it's so candid. It's so open. Mm-hmm. So you want to feel someplace safe. And I think that lends to that real well. Here, like we decided when we started this that we were going to be hospitality first, hospitality focus, coffee, water. If you want snacks, bring in your. Yes,
let me emphasize good coffee.
Good coffee. Yeah.
And it's not just subjective because we provide options.
Yeah.
So if we don't have the option, shit, we need to buy something else.
We got rooms where you can chill in the meantime.
There was a lady who needed to use a breast pump even. And, she had a private space to do it.
Yep.
And so,
Yeah, so that all
real life happens in the midst of everything.
Yeah, exactly. So it in order to be able to open up and be yourself, you definitely have to feel comfortable somewhere. So
the hospitality part I think is really important to any podcast studio or even shoot that you're going to do. Because it sets the tone, right? And your favorite word, it sets the vibe. You know what I mean? You love that word, don't you?
No.
Vibe. I know.
No.
Now they know.
No.
What is it? Quick little tangent. Just educate me. What is it about the word vibe that you don't like?
It just seems
See, I
like
asked your opinion.
a dirty, like it just
Dirty?
Yeah, it's so non-specific.
You're not catching the vibe.
No.
Dude, did you drink
It,
Haterade this morning?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
We
Yeah.
can move on. You know what? Nothing about this response is positive. And that's what we do in
No.
hospitality. You keep it positive.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's keep it positive.
Well, you
baby.
asked for my opinion on
I
it.
did, right?
Yeah.
And see, so now you know.
Mm,
If you ask for an opinion, you're going to get an honest opinion. You just may
absolutely.
not want to hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can always shut us down. You'd be like, you know what? I strike that. Reverse it.
I rescind that question. Let's
Bring
reel
it
it back in.
Yeah, let's
okay?
forget that was ever asked.
Yeah.
Okay, so
By
booking and
asking me
scheduling.
about vibes, you're going to bring down the vibes, okay? You know what I'm saying?
That made sense.
Yeah.
That made total sense to me. So booking and scheduling, your guests, I mean, you just wish everything was going to always go as according to plan. A lot of times we don't even get to run a show from people. We've seen the gamut of people just winging it to we get almost like a show Bible from people.
Like a full breakdown.
Yeah. And you just have to be fluid with the situation.
Yeah.
You know, very much that cliche of a solution provider and just
here for
roll
it.
with it. Yeah.
I mean, I was coming in this morning and I had a flat tire. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just got to roll with the punches. Like, okay, cool.
So
Plan for the, what is it? Plan for the worst, expect the best, hope for the best.
You botched that up.
Did I?
A little bit, but it's all right.
All right, plan for the worst, hope for the best.
I guess this is why you're behind the production booth.
I guess so.
You know, it's like those cliches. You get 100% of the things you don't ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's a WAS special.
Yes.
Our boy.
Well, I mean, for sure.
Booking.
Yeah.
Booking can be tricky. Some people have said, why can't I just go to the website and book, right?
Yeah.
If you're starting a studio, things like you can, but it can become problematic in its own way. And especially with new clients, I'm of the opinion you need to do a walkthrough with people so they know exactly what they're walking into.
Yeah.
Once you've had a relationship with them and at least shot with them once, then by all means, you know, you can provide them ways to expedite booking, but there's so much nuance. And if not everybody does this, we do it, we'll swap out sets. So yes, everything starts from the backdrop, right? So in this particular room, we have the wood wall, but everything starts from here and people customize in different ways, both lighting and fixtures, everything.
Yeah.
So that adds time to set up. We only bill that, I think, to 2 shows right now that come through because it is quite intensive. Otherwise, you know, we're hoofing.
It all came down on my idea that with a booking.
Your idea.
I believe it was my idea.
No, I just love it the way you took ownership.
I was like, okay, well, with regular studio maintenance, we're going to have to go into the room either before recording or after recording and reset and make sure everything's working properly, whatever. So we'll include that in the setup fee. We'll give them an hour. Anything that takes over an hour, a set to set up over an hour, we charge for.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
of course I agree.
Yeah.
Well, because it's real time. And if we're between shoots, we have people here to do the work because it can't be. And our rule of thumb is 1 tech, 1 session. We don't want people, unless we absolutely have to, and it's a client we've worked with and we've gotten their consent that it's okay because we just couldn't get another tech in that day, whatever the case may be, but we try to minimize that. But that all comes back to booking. That's why you can't instant book all the time, because sometimes you're scheduling with your guests, your front end load time, your back end load time. There are things that the person who comes in to shoot doesn't see. And you know what? They don't need to. You know what? It's our job to make it so that when they show up, we're ready for them. That's my opinion. Yeah. Everybody's a little different. I say not if, with certain shows that we will produce, it's a different scenario, but every working relationship with anybody who comes in has its own specificity, its own nuance, right? Yeah, definitely. You even know how people like their coffee.
Yes.
And how they want, a teleprompter set up, you run the teleprompter on some of these.
Most of them, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that shows you how much.
Until we get into the, I just find it easier for the guest and for myself, like recording. It takes less time. Some people want the remote. Some people, I run it just because I can like sit off to the side, read while it goes down. Okay, keep them on track.
Mm-hmm.
So I start and stop it as they go. They can ad lib, whatever, and then just keep reading.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps speed up the process for them as well.
I remember when I ran a couple shoots
Yep.
for an ongoing client of ours during the holidays, and you set me up wonderfully.
Thank you.
You set me up for success. I appreciate I had my sheet of how to do it and
But
everything.
I didn't tell you that portion.
Well, but you know what? It's
Yeah.
like, how do you run through every scenario?
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting because at that point in time, been here for well over 100 shoots, but still didn't know how to run one from end to end, really.
Yeah.
And so I had to. And, you trained me up. You trained me up good. But it was interesting. Adam's going to ruin that.
Yeah. Okay.
Adam's going to ruin that. But I remember when I was scrolling through the teleprompter for the host,
yeah,
they kind of joked with me and said, "Oh, you're doing this work?" Because, they thought of me a certain way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no small jobs here, man.
Yeah.
Because, and this leads into what we learned. You're not just hitting record.
No.
You're doing lighting.
Yep.
You're doing color. You're doing audio mixing. You're framing
yeah.
And it's one person.
Yeah.
And it kind of has to be for the economics right now of podcast studios.
For sure. Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
I mean, we have friends who work on the hot ones as cameramen, and they get paid really good day rates.
Yeah.
It's not as good as your normal Hollywood day rate, but it's for podcasts, it's definitely top tier day rate to shoot with.
I would say because that's like an internet show. You know what I mean?
Well, it's gotten big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they had to get to that point too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so when people come through here, we see it all, right? And it all comes down to pricing too. We've tried to create an in and out style menu. It's like, just, this is the package. That way it removes a lot of ambiguity. But the one thing that always triggers people up is the rates, because they have a perception of what they think it should cost. And it's like, okay, well, what service are you expecting? And, managing expectations. One of those comes in the form of exports.
Yes.
Right? So explain it as somebody who's done a ton of exports. Just explain it to people that are.
Yeah. Well, you have what we shoot BRAW.
Yeah.
Because of the system, if we want to be able to capture, to be able to monitor and record a backup.
Because we're on Blackmagic cameras.
Yes, we decided on Blackmagic cameras. We could do Sony through the ATEM, but at the same rate, we'd have to shoot in whatever format that it will allow us while we monitor, and then do a backup recording on the ATEM. ATEM, it stands for ATEM. I don't know what that acronym stands for, but
that's all right.
I'll put it right here.
There you go. Oh, okay. You're editing this, so you'll know exactly where it goes. I like that.
And then so a lot of people, they either want smaller files because their editors are in New York, they're in Egypt, Paraguay, wherever they may be. They want smaller files. They don't want the large RAW, even though we compress it 12:1. They're still quite large.
Yeah.
Right? So we will make ProRes 422 regular, 422
we have PTSD
HQ.
from that because how much does it increase the size of RAW?
Well, if it were a larger format RAW, it would actually decrease, but because we do 12:1 compressed BRAW, it basically doubles the amount of information. So it's twice as large.
Our ability to just upload it to a Google Drive for somebody to download. It's
because Google Drive only allows you 750 gigabytes a day upload limit.
That's the thing we ran into.
Yep, that's what we ran into.
But anyways, exports.
Yes. So it takes time for us to basically take the RAW, align it with the audio, sync, align. That's why we slate every shoot, and then put a color profile on it that you like, matches with your show aesthetic. and then we export it. Most of the time it's going to be, QuickTime H.264 format. Sometimes MP4 H.264, all 4K. That way, the bit depth isn't that much, but they're very easy to manage.
So it takes time.
Yes,
We don't
it
charge a
takes time
ton.
for us to do it as
Yeah.
well. And then time to use the computer, because to make those exports, it takes about half as long as when we shoot.
Mm.
So if we're shooting for an hour podcast, it takes 30 minutes to make one camera's exports. So
Gotcha.
that's an hour and a half, for 3-camera shoot.
Yeah. And there are ways to expedite that, right? Like live switching, line cuts.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's also time and focus that needs to be accounted for.
Yeah.
During a recording session.
But the problem with that, is if you take the line cut and you try and edit off that, like say you wanted both of them laughing, and they switch to the other person to get the reaction shot, and you didn't like that in editing, there's no way to edit that out unless you do the full
I
thing.
got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not convincing me.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
I know.
I subscribe to your newsletter.
Know. I'm just saying.
I know. I could see. You can't see it, if you're watching this podcast. But I know what's going on inside your head because I've seen the scenarios happen in PTSD. So we've talked a little bit about bookings and scheduling. One thing I'd like to say about bookings, and I know we've gone around a little bit on a few different topics, is we try not to charge for cancellations, if at all possible, simply because we know it sucks.
Yeah.
But if there's humans already committed to your time and we've had to push other shoots aside, we do. Yeah. We don't impose them very often. Again, it's only if, we can't lose more money. Yeah. And I say lose because we're still in an investing period, even to what we do. Yeah. But so we've gone through a little bit of booking and scheduling. Yeah. Talked about exports.
We talked about, in a roundabout way, the shoot of it. So
yeah, is there something? Yeah. Let's talk about the shoot. So
Yeah.
What is it about the shoot also that you think is important to share? Because I know one topic.
During the shoot?
Well, before, during, and after.
If you say, okay, it's a podcast, then that means that the audio should be the most important thing, right? So we try to do two backups.
Audio very well.
Hopefully. We try to do 2 backups.
We like redundancies, yes.
Redundancies just in case. And then we also do a backup on camera. So we have a shotgun mic on the camera picking up the room audio just in case one of these fails.
Yeah.
Or both, And then as far as the cameras, most of the time they work swimmingly, but sometimes they don't fire. So we have a backup with the ATEM. The ATEM records every single camera angle in an isolated format. Downside is it's a 1080p MP4, H.264 MP4. So it's not great quality, but you at least have the footage.
Right.
So that's the backup of it. We could go with a different camera, but every camera has its pros and cons. Like the newer A7s with the AI chips and autofocus. Everything works swimmingly, but apparently they overheat often. And then if you're sitting there through a 3-hour podcast and you're trying to videotape the whole thing and your camera heats up and then has to shut down, so that's why we use the cinema cameras for this aspect, because they will roll for 3 hours straight,
And then some people will be like, let's do some PTZs. Yeah. Pan, tilt, zoom. Yeah, you got the wallet for that? You got the bag for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not cheap. And then the cheap ones, you're going to get what you pay for. Yeah. So, yeah, it runs the gamut. But this goes back to budget. Yeah. It all comes back to budget with podcasts. And podcasts become a catch-all word these days. Yeah. Right? So,
you see Little Dicky and Benny are doing that not podcast.
Benny Blanco?
I think so.
Benny Blanco be everywhere, man.
Is he?
I swear. And he shows up in my feed the most random times.
They have like this house
My YouTube
that's
feed.
just all hooked up with cameras everywhere, and they're just like having a conversation. They don't call it a podcast though. They're very intent on not calling it a podcast.
That's funny. I've seen Benny Blanco with Maddie Matheson. Obviously, Selena Gomez interviewed on other shows.
So what were you about to say about when you're shooting?
Lighting.
Oh yeah, lighting. Yeah.
Lighting. And that's why I said it's before, during, and after, right? Yeah. Because before, we have monitors set up, right? So people can see what they look like from all the different camera angles. You can't see this right now, but yeah, we have monitors over here that show that. And it looks a certain way. Yeah. It does. And then if you have a producer or we take photos, there's ways that we can show you what it looks like on our monitors in the production room or on our cart if we're in a bigger space. Again, you see it a certain way. If you have a producer and they're choosing lighting, the host and the producer need to align. They need to align. It helps everyone when they align. They don't, it does. It causes issues, and everybody has a different style of what they want, because it's wildly subjective. Yeah. There is good lighting, there is bad lighting, I believe. But if it's intentional, if bad lighting was intentional, is that really bad? You know what I mean? If you intentionally lit something poorly, was it bad? But anyways, we don't need to go into so much of that. My point being is this, is that lighting is crucial.
That's a philosophical question.
Lighting is crucial before, during, and after. Before is the way you think it looks. Mm-hmm. During is how you're shooting. And it can't be changed to a certain extent, but it can be worked on hard, because after, when you get the files and you're like, this isn't the way I want it to look, this doesn't match, like all these things need to be taken into account, which is why we always recommend people do a test shoot. Yeah. Just do a test. Yeah. We know it costs money. We're not here to, retire on one test. Just do a test. It'll help us all.
Yeah, everybody.
And at the end of the day, we're able to deliver.
Leave happier.
Yeah.
Healthier. More productive lives.
Less stressed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you can come in and kind of get the feel, get the vibe of the place. Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's possible, but
they do.
No, they catch them.
They catch them. What was it, disease? Jeez. Yep. The way you said it makes sound like when Asia says it.
I was saying they're catching
when she says catching feeling, catching vibes, the way she says it sounds really good. You made it sound like a disease. Yeah. But anyways, so lighting, big thing.
Saying vibes is a disease.
Got it. Remember we struck your opinion on that? They didn't want to hear it. They rescinded the offer.
I'm editing, so.
That's true. But lighting.
Yes.
I mean, it takes time.
Yeah, definitely.
And it takes input.
Yeah.
And it takes just a little bit of patience and grace sometimes.
Yeah, and it's the part where you're most likely going to get beat up if you are a tech.
Are you speaking from experience,
sir? Yeah, like here and there. So some people have been in studio situations where they know exactly how they look or they like to look. Sometimes you've got photographers that light a certain way or see themselves in a certain light.
Shooting photographers is one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah. It's the most nerve-wracking as well.
And it's the most we get beat up for.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad not the very first, but one of the first podcasts we produced was with photographers and artists. Because
Paris Chung Show.
Yeah. That we can say because it's one of our shows.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I have so much fun working on that show too.
I know you do love it. We need to get you a show because you're becoming a photographer. You're getting better.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I mean you are. Like yeah. I follow you.
Yeah,
I follow your Insta.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's something that I used to enjoy and then picked up the camera again.
You used to it. You don't enjoy it now.
No, it's something.
Oh, you rekindled your love for it.
Yes, exactly. Gotcha. Mostly through this podcast. Like I was like, okay, this is really fun. I remember that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So
yeah, so lighting's interesting, especially nowadays with the DMX ability. The not what you really want, but like DMX is the controls of lighting, right? So like now most lights, especially from Newer or Small Rig or these other smaller companies, they'll full spectrum RGB, and then they have an app to be able to control it. So you can just go on your app and go, hey, I want this light to be this color. I want this light to be this color. We can change the lights, during the shoot. Nobody asked for that. Nobody would, but
I don't know.
okay.
The moment we say forever statements like that, that's when it
true.
usually happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then you'll have your bicolor lights, which are just come in two different white balances, either like cool blue or warm like orange.
I got you. Positioning of lighting,
Position of light,
space, right? Because
how
people
far,
want.
how soft you want the light. Do you want really direct, hard light with lots of shadows? So you have like this. You have shadows because I'm wearing a hat. Some people don't like that. I could do this, assuming you like this a lot in lighting tests.
If you do that, it's very inside baseball now. So you're right. This
Yeah.
does feel very inside baseball.
What we use most often are these giant
Beach balls.
umbrella balls.
Umbrella balls, okay?
Yeah.
The slang, life's changing, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't, and I say you can't, and the industry has had to change the way they refer to a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's very much like a football, the Redskins team. They had to change their name.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So,
absolutely.
How about this?
So what do you want to know about lighting?
Well, we've talked a little bit about lighting, and this whole podcast isn't meant to be like a tutorial. It's just us talking about it, sharing. I mean, we've talked about eventually doing some sort of online school.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll get there.
We want to do a school. We also, bandwidth is hard. I also want to do a meetup where I talk to other podcast producers.
That you should do anyway.
Yeah.
We have the space
at the end of this month.
And then we also have
early next month.
See, this is another one of those, shameless plugs. We also have the space in Hollywood to do it.
Yeah.
Do it in the theater there.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that's 1800 Vine. Go to the website, 1800vine.com.
1800vine.com. We should make a jingle.
So when we're talking about lighting, let's talk about framing a little bit.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because in lighting, you're talking about shadows and hard light, soft light. Diary of a CEO, especially with that when you like that look, and we get that request fairly frequently, and even with people who don't want that look, they still reference it as, I don't want that look. But it's so well known at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You do need to have a certain level of space to really achieve it too.
Yes.
So that's something that always needs to be taken into account too.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely. Like setup. I find it interesting that we don't charge more for the larger rooms. Like it's just basically menu style pricing. Like you want to come in for an hour, you can come in for an hour. That's the minimum. Great.
Why do you find that interesting that we don't charge for the bigger rooms? Why, you think bigger means more?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times, like if you go to, say, a studio in Hollywood, like Universal, Warner Brothers, if you get the larger stages, they're going to cost more.
Yeah. Well,
because you're paying for more square footage.
So let me wrangle that one in real quick.
Well, I'm just
with the reality of the situation. So this goes to the future of podcasting or production in general, right? Yeah. And this is something we run into head first all the time. Not in a combative way, just it's something we see that's happening. You have the incumbents that have done a certain workflow for decades. Yeah. And then you have prosumers and people coming up. And you could say they're younger, but not necessarily, because we get people of all ages, well into their 50s, that have a way of understanding prosumer because they've used Premiere and they've used their own cameras, or maybe even like a DJI mic or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And just they're like, no, we could do it for less. And then there's people who says, well, I could just do all this myself. I don't know why I need to pay a studio. I'm like, you don't. You can do it yourself, but it's
absolutely
time, effort, equipment, showing. It's like nobody sees how, the steak is made, how the cow gets slaughtered type cliche. But with that, there's also a number of different generations with their own workflows happening and converging at the same time, which is why I love your experience doing it. I guess you'd call it the Hollywood way to early 2000s, let's say, because you understand the rigor of workflow, because you've worked with features, working with color company, because you were part of a color company and you did a lot of post. And so you would have these workflow calls with these big companies and everybody had, with the DTI, you had your color, you had your VFX. Everybody was on those calls and you had to follow a certain amount of rigor because you're still dealing with LTO tapes. But now
They
with
still do.
podcasts, well, some do, right?
Yeah.
But now you have the prosumers and the way things are getting shot, and then
Yeah.
you have things like Ben Stiller getting all this because he's shooting on a mobile phone. It's going to use for the documentary of the Knicks that he's working on.
Yeah.
And
You also know that after he sells it to somebody,
I thought he already sold it.
then he's going to put all that all that footage and back it up to tape because it's the best way to archive something. So
Well, everybody's storing
LTO
stuff
tape
on Naz's, you know. But
doesn't matter.
so
LTO tape,
where I'm going with
best
this
way.
particular topic, we'll
Yes.
get to storage because storage is also a real thing.
Yeah.
But this particular topic, it's interesting to me because you have the incumbents working a certain workflow.
Yeah.
And they're losing jobs because there is a shrinkage happening with entertainment in post, you know, on all sides of production.
Yeah. Everywhere.
And we see it because we're in LA. Definitely. We hear a lot about it. We see a lot of people we know who are, you know, have high senior ranks in post positions being made redundant because the work's not there. But even if it is, it's changing anyway. Like the delivery, the execution, a person can do more things simply because AI tools are being introduced. We've used AI tools for a number of years now, and we're
Anytime a new one
increasing.
comes out, I like to test it just to
Love
make
testing.
sure, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because it does. It speeds up efficiency.
Yeah.
But I love that you understand enough of the incumbent workflow and enough of the new world workflow to where because it's almost like you become a translator between the two. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
for sure.
And I see the
It's
future
helped
of
me
it.
out a ton just because I'm like, well, this is the way we used to do it, but this is how we should do it going forward because
But
these new tools are made available.
but made with a certain level of rigor, right? And what I mean by that is too is that people will come in and just be like, "Can't we just shoot it and edit it?" Sorta. You know, there are things you still need to do, and when the output doesn't match a certain expectation, you're like, "Well, there is structure to the way posts can get ran so that you meet an expectation, but you also need to set those expectations in the beginning and communicate it with everybody involved." Just like any other relationship, communication is key, right?
Yeah.
This we've seen wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And because we've seen a lot of different teams come through. Some teams come through and it's just one person solo mission, and you got crews with like a huge entourage
Yeah.
of humans behind them.
Yeah.
And they both can put out the same product.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on their bandwidth. Some of it has to do with budget, but also some of it has to do with bandwidth. But when you're communicating amongst all these people, the workflow, man,
Some
I've
people
seen you
edit
run into it.
themselves. Some people like to send it off to people
Wherever.
on Fiverr, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just seen a lot of different like we had Pete come in, he's a cinematographer, and he's talked about things, and it's interesting because then we have, you know, ladies who just do TikTok.
Yeah.
And they talk about how they shoot and how they edit, and it's just so interesting because there is overlap with both of their perspectives, but then there's also a big divergent in how that gets to a real world use case, how people become to view it.
I would say most of the technology side is on the post side, the editing, the creating of, because it just in our time that we've owned and operated a studio and shot podcasts, like the technology has like in that time, generative AI has been introduced. So a lot of people are using generative AI in their edits. That's a little bit harder on a large scale because it's not cost effective yet to just like generate your entire footage or, you
Yeah, the
know,
cost associated to it.
yeah, because everybody runs on tokens, blah, blah, blah,
Oh, it's
whatever.
a sliding
Yeah,
scale right now. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
usage-based pricing has been evolving and
Yes.
iterating almost weekly, it feels like
Yeah.
lately.
The parts where we've seen the biggest breakthroughs in transcription. This podcast right here, we're going to run it through Descript. It's going to take the transcript.
We're going to run it through Descript after you do the full edit
Yeah, so
on DaVinci.
I do the full edit in DaVinci.
And
That's
you
just
use
the way
AI
that
tools in DaVinci too.
I'm
That's your workflow.
used to.
That as
Yeah,
opposed
so
to
a lot of people
Premiere or
use
some others.
Premiere, exactly. Some people use CapCut, you
Yeah.
know. And I would say CapCut's great for captions. The only problem is, and we've ran into it, is consistency with the themes.
CapCut has an interesting user interface, user experience for
Yeah.
sure.
And I've talked to other people about it as well, and they say the same thing because you can't just save the theme that you're working on.
There's all like
So it's gonna
anything else.
change from
You have to go
yeah,
10 toes down and
yeah,
adopt something and learn all of its nuances.
yeah.
But so you're going to put in Descript because you were talking about transcripts
Yes,
once you have
okay.
the full EP edit.
Yeah, so we do the full episode edit, we get the transcript, and then from there, you can take that,
Yeah.
translate it into any other language, and then
The
now
ones they have available, at least.
well, that's what I'm trying
You
to
said
get at.
any language.
They're like I think Google just added so many more languages that you can
Oh, transcribe too?
transcribe
Oh,
to.
interesting. All
So
right.
you could see in the future possibly like overdubbing or AI overdubbing into like Japanese,
Yeah, they're
like
doing it. Yeah,
Korean, you know.
Spanish, French.
Well, I mean the
Yeah.
Latins you can already do that.
Si, senor.
See,
Si.
the non-Latin languages.
Yeah.
They're able to, or they're starting to roll those out. Because that was one of our first requests that we got, and I was trying to figure out, like,
Oh, that's
how
true.
do we dub into
That's
Japanese?
right.
Yeah,
The one I remember now. Damn, that was feels like forever ago now.
yeah,
That was 2023.
yep,
So Descript is interesting. We have a love-hate with Descript.
yeah.
That timeline, in my opinion, is not a fun one to edit in.
No, it's not. It's horrible.
But that's our opinion because I know people who work natively in Descript with their
Yeah.
files and they do their thing, which great.
Some people do it in Riverside.
Yeah, and I've seen people using Riverside. I know they've been trying to update it more and more. So, I mean, it's very subjective.
Hmm.
It's what you end up learning on, what
Yeah.
you're comfortable with. But the transcript side, especially in Descript, I love because you can edit just the transcript and you can do it in other programs.
Yeah,
I love it there, but that's also where you'll create now using AI tools. And I think it's called AI Overlord.
I think so.
Yeah, that's
Well,
its
yeah,
actual tab. You can create a highlight reel
yeah,
and you're able to get pretty damn close and you're able to create clips. I
yeah.
mean, again,
The
subjective.
the highlight reel is interesting because it does a good job of pulling the highlights, but I like taking that highlight reel that it makes, dropping it back into DaVinci, and then chopping it up from there because it pulls out some really good moments, but a lot of times I feel like it misses the cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll extend it for too long. Sometimes it's like
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree.
it
Very much so.
definitely doesn't get like the humanness of conversations because it leaves out a lot of like laughing, and I've found that in reels and stuff, laughing is big. People like to laugh and they
Yeah, who don't
react
like to
when they
laugh? It
laugh.
makes you feel good.
Exactly.
Like Paris, she loves to
Yeah,
laugh.
her
Oh
laugh
my gosh, you
is a
can
big laugh.
hear it through the whole
Big
studio.
laugh.
Big laugh.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't have anybody in the studio across the way, you know.
She's her
Yeah.
laugh is infectious though.
Yeah.
Like when you go to the
Absolutely.
Leica gallery and you're on that first floor and she's upstairs, you can hear her,
Yeah.
and it puts you in a good mood.
Yeah.
At least it does to me.
Absolutely.
So those are just something because also use vocal isolation with AI tools, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Anything you want to add?
No, I mean, I love it.
Okay,
You do
no.
have to I would suggest, like, going from 100% vocal isolation because, like, in this room, we have the AC going because we're on the 4th floor. It can get hot sometimes. So we have the
It's
AC
nice right now
pumping.
though.
It
It
is.
does.
Yeah,
I
I got
feel
my
like I'm in a,
sweater on. It's the middle of summer. It's Juneteenth right now. You know
That's
what I mean?
right. That's
I
right.
have my sweater on. We have the AC going all the time. So sometimes in this room specifically, you can hear the
HVAC.
HVAC
Yeah.
going. But what we do is we'll put a touch of vocal isolation, like 90%. So you get a little bit of that room tone still in there, but you have,
It's if you want it, but you can pull it out.
yeah.
You can
But
pull it.
then you start sounding more robotic and it really cuts off like the
Oh,
lows and the highs. So,
speaking of audio related little hiccups, the one where if somebody just happens to step on a chord,
yes.
you'll get that hum.
Uh, yeah, if the mic cable is touching any live wires when it comes to electricity, the cycle of the AC
Mhm.
will, not the AC as in air conditioning, but the AC current will cycle through that chord, and so it picks it up audibly.
Yeah. Good
Because
times.
yeah,
And that can be fixed.
that has happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, with these tools, yes.
Yeah. So
It
I mean,
fixes it just like that. Instead, where you used to have to go in and then manually cut wherever it's picking up, you'd have to cut out those frequencies.
what would you have edited that in? Logic?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So in thinking about where post-production, especially with podcasts, is going, I mean, we've tried them. There's those where you take a PDF or even just a doc of any sort and then upload it and it creates a podcast with AI voices and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they're fun. They're fun. I've had some really funny ones, but I don't necessarily think that's going to become the future per se.
Yeah.
I do like articles. A lot of websites are adopting it more. I know we were looking at it a while back for different projects we were doing, is you create audio out of an article. Let's say it's on Variety or Vanity Fair of the article so people could just listen to it.
Yep.
And it's AI driven. It would be nice if it was the author of that article, in my opinion, as someone who would like to hear the person who wrote it say it, even if they're not necessarily, quote, audio friendly. You hear their tone in the way that they write, the way they talk, potentially. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of human intentionality with the way things are supposed to be conveyed. And I love to hear that. So I guess that's the core of my thought process, is that podcasts, they are bringing down the cost of production.
Yes.
Period. You don't have to spend what you used to spend in a Hollywood environment to do a Hollywood output anymore. I mean, across not just podcasts, but feature length. But having said that, there's still a place for that premium 1%er style production.
Yeah.
It's just that there's going to be more of this. It's called the theater. You're funny.
Go see a movie.
Oh, that theater. I thought you were talking about, like, Luke Evans on the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Have you seen that?
Oh, no.
Dude, he's so good at
Sorry, should I have said cinema?
Cinema? Film? Ooh, you film student now? I don't shoot movies. I shoot film.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I guess my point being about that is, in the budget, is that we're moving budgets in a way where a lot of it's decreasing, but it's also maximizing how an individual creates value, right? So when people talk about AI taking jobs, I just think humans need to create value in different ways now. It's a different way of creating value. You know what I mean? Both with the machine and the human. Because as you know, we have a lot more going on than just the podcast studio, especially as it relates to AI. Another shameless plug, Hidden Pixels.
Hippie?
Yeah, hippie, HIP. You like calling it hippie, but long story short, it provides provenance to your files. The signal is in the file. Check it out, hiddenpixels.com. You can see more about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we've really gone 10 toes down in all things AI agents. And we use it for everything. So when we talk about booking scheduling, we're using it for booking scheduling, invoicing.
Mm-hmm.
We're working with it, how it connects to Notion. Notion seems to be our source of truth for database.
Yes.
And then everything connects through that side of it. We're using OpenClaw. We're using Hermes or Hermes, however you want to say it. But Hermes would be more of the fashion brand, right?
Hermes.
So we're doing a lot of different things in that way. And then even on Pi, which is what OpenClaw is built on, which is in the GitHub repository. I don't want to go too far deep into this, but I do believe that it's just going to keep iterating, getting better. Because right now, working with AI is like dealing with Dustin Hoffman's character from Rain Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It knows a lot, but sometimes it knows too much, or it gives you information that you don't actually need to finish your side of the job.
Context is
everything. I feel like it does need a human touch. Even when we were talking about Descript, like I'll pull those highlights, I'll pull clips from it that it suggests, but I always input more clips than I actually need, because sometimes I'm like, that clip
it's the artistry
not really
of it.
Yeah, and then
the curation of it.
And then we'll pull it in, watch it, make sure it's good. Okay, great. Chop it or extend it. Change the angle, based on context. So, yeah.
Would AI have edited Johnny Carson's show when he did his famous pause? You know how he would pause?
Who's that?
Johnny Carson. Did I say it in a weird like Hispanic way? I feel like
Johnny.
sometimes.
I think you said Johnny.
I think my lips are so big sometimes they just kind of
It
lap
gets
over on each other.
Yeah.
And we didn't bring any water right now, so I'm just like, nom, nom. No, I'm not sharing with you.
Okay.
But I appreciate
It's
you.
coffee anyway.
Johnny Carson. He would famously pause, night show host. For those, showing a little bit of my age, when Johnny Carson would pause, if AI was editing that show, would AI have held the pause? Because that's where he would get the laugh. You know what I mean? So when you start talking about the human side of it, when it comes to it, yeah, a lot of people have been talking about even in coding with AI.
Yeah.
Are they a pilot? Are they a curator of sorts? There's lots of nomenclature that are being invented on the fly right now of how to describe these ways that humans are creating value with AI.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, I feel they're great tools, you just have to learn to work with them. Am I for them taking the entire work from humans? No, but I don't think that's up to me,
It's interesting you say it that way, right?
Like the entire work stack, because I feel like we still need somebody to look over and watch it. There has to be a human touch, or, I mean, in most things, but there's probably stuff.
Well, that's why people are getting hired right now to do data annotation, right? They're basically trying to train up models of the human decision-making process. But it still is that time of transition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you look, and we're going to go real inside baseball right now.
Yeah.
Andreessen Horowitz has been a champion of all things crypto and blockchain. Going back to the heart of the original podcast, right?
Yeah.
And they're still putting out articles today on their Substack talking about crypto and blockchain. Chris Dixon, author of Read, Write, Own, has doubled, triple, quadrupled down on the whole own within our current infrastructure. Like Read, Write's been done. Now we're at Own, especially, and they want to put it towards blockchain and crypto, especially as it relates to provenance on digital assets or anything we're putting out this podcast, right? The problem is, and this goes back to going super inside baseball, is that there's a transition period to get that tech to work, and it can't just work. You can't do headless integration with it through an API onto a blockchain right now. It doesn't work in a way that's just turnkey. Again, shameless plug. That's why Hidden Pixels does boom boom. But that's, I think, what's going to happen with all things human and AI related too, is that we're in this transition period.
Yeah.
You know what I find funny? I think I've said it on other pods, is music industry had their MP3 moment, right? And now the rest of the world essentially is having an MP3 moment with AI. And musicians are like, go fuck yourselves. You didn't care about us.
Yeah.
When we had our MP3 moment, everybody was just like, we got some media and stuff, but you didn't stop it.
Yeah.
And now, everybody else is going through an MP3 moment, in my opinion. And musicians are like, fuck, we already went through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, come on.
We've done this already.
Yeah, like we've already suffered. Like, what are you going to do? We're ahead of y'all on this AI shit.
Yeah, we figured out a way to sell you our music, and then you never actually own our music.
Oh, my God. It's so funny. My kids, they get after me about the Spotify subscription so much. They're like, they do. Even my 12-year-old, Dad, we don't own this. You don't own that.
Yeah.
And even when he says
vinyl,
about iTunes, because he ran it through an LLM and said, can we just get this DVD? And I'm like, why? Because he's like, power went out the other day. Couldn't play it, stream it. And then I found out we don't own it either. I'm like, what do you mean? We bought it on iTunes. No, we don't. They could take it away. And I'm like, oh, shit.
You mean Apple TV now? Yeah.
So
no, that's for sure.
But going back to all things future of podcasting too, CAA just did that big announcement.
What was that?
Or TPGCA, where they're basically trying to acquire creator-led businesses to add to their portfolio.
Got it.
They raised, I think, $250 million, 250.
Yeah.
They're not the first to do it. I mean, Stephen Bartlett has become a poster child for a lot of those investments.
Mm-hmm.
Slow Ventures, Jessica Lesson of The Information's husband led a creator fund. It's been happening. We had a thesis of wanting to launch similar funds. We just don't have the Rolodex of investors for it, and it's a full-time.
Yeah.
I wanted to pause. I wanted to hear it. I love when you do that shit sometimes because it makes me super positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
because it's so interesting to me that somebody that drinks as much haterade as you
Oh yeah, love
can
it.
throw out so much positivity too.
Why?
It's
the
weird.
duality.
Are you gaslighting yourself?
No. Plan for the worst, hope for the best.
Did you get it right?
I think
I
so.
think so. So moving forward in all things creator led and Backrooms, another example.
Backrooms, Obsession. Now everybody's I heard the big studios are scraping Reddit right now for stories, and somebody was
Smosh,
like,
baby.
I'm
You my
hoping,
Reddit stories.
yeah,
I love that
they're
shit.
scraping Reddit for these like small stories.
Small
and
story.
somebody was like, I'm really hoping for the film Poop Knife, and
Did I tell you about Poop Knife?
no, I've seen Poop Knife.
You saw
bro.
Poop Knife?
Yes, I think everybody saw Poop Knife.
If you haven't, Google Reddit stories Poop Knife.
Yes.
Smosh. It's awesome.
Is it on Smosh?
Yeah, they did. That's how I discovered it initially, because it was on a read.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, Shane was doing his thing, baby.
Yeah.
So we were talking about laughing, right?
Yes.
And we could talk about other podcasts.
Yep.
And this is because the podcast right now is
About
subject matter about
podcasts.
podcasts. Why the fuck not? When Shane laughs from Smosh,
Yeah.
it's so funny. At first, I was like, I just thought it was funny because it reminded me of a few other humans I know. But now it's become, I love it. And I want like a button that I could just push because he does. He'll laugh at something and it makes him laugh more. And there's people that do that, but at least his laugh isn't annoying.
Yeah.
At least to me. I'm sure it is to others. But I love that kind of shit.
So you're saying that they should just watch Smosh, those people? Oh,
I love it. Yeah, we were introduced to it.
Now, is that a podcast or is that
It's a pod.
It's
YouTube primarily
show?
Well, both. That
like
one's
an
both.
online show.
Yeah, see, so again, podcast catch-all, but they've been around for over a decade, and they've had different. Oh yeah, well, because they're two originals. I think it was Anthony and Ian started it, and it wasn't Reddit stories from the beginning or anything. They do a bunch of like skits, short stuff.
Yeah.
They ended up buying it back. I forget from whom.
Yeah.
But now they own it again, and they just set up a new set. But anyways, there's so much like Maddie Matheson, right? He does so many things I hate.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see other people do. Like I hate seeing people chew food like on a food show. And I'm like, come on. Mark Weens does that shit. I love where he goes, but he'll just chew right in your
This one
camera.
bite, you know the rules.
I do love Portnoy though. I don't see. Here's the funny. I didn't know him through Barstools quite the way I know him now through One Bite.
Yeah,
but he'll go through 4 or 5 slices. You
this
hate the way
bite,
he eats
you
pizza.
know the rules.
He does.
Like
you hate the way he eats pizza.
Why you eat in the back of the pizza? Eat the pizza forward. I don't know.
Because it's super crisp. I kind of like the way he does it. Well, depending upon.
Yeah.
But Maddie Matheson.
I like his opinions about the pizza. The way he eats the pizza. No.
I like that kind of pizza that he likes. So but it depends on the style too. Like if we want a thick pizza, the thick pizza from Apollonia's.
Love it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
My son loves Prince Street.
Put a little hot honey on there.
You know, I still haven't tried it with the hot honey. The burrata I have.
Yeah. And the hot honey. Oh my gosh.
But where's
I gotta go.
Well, we still need to try that spot you sent me.
Yeah.
The Insta of.
Lots of spots.
There's a lot of spots. So where's the future of it all going? People are like, oh, they're finding talent in creators. Every generation of entertainment has discovered talent in new ways because it just iterates. This is history repeating itself.
Yeah.
We as humans have this wonderful way of thinking something is extremely new, and there's nuance to it. I agree, but our curiosity as humans, we get in our own way of progress a lot of times.
Yeah.
The same thing is holding true with AI. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're gonna, we're gonna screw it up. We're gonna do it right. Screw it up. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be here. And this is a sombering note, but I don't think we're gonna be here for the worst of it. Or, you know what I mean? Which is, I'm kind of relieved. I have children. I don't know what they're gonna see, and that's why I think that cliche of, people who plant trees to not bask in the shade of them.
Yeah.
I like that sentiment very much so. And there's things that we do that I think hit on those marks. So I think that's the fight we fight, right?
Yeah.
But where's the future of it all going, especially as it relates
Well,
to entertainment? I mean, they're just
as
discovering
it
talent in
relates
new
to
ways.
podcasts.
As it relates, well, this is coming at the hands of podcast being a catch-all word,
Yeah.
and they're trying to find stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people, I mean, Alex Cooper, I know she's got her own bad press going on right now with how everything's being. Yeah, if you Google it, you'll see.
Okay.
There's always a story, good, bad, or otherwise.
Link in
we
the
don't know.
show notes.
But
link to all the bad press in the show notes there.
Well, she created, it started from a podcast, and she's grown it from
one
there.
of the biggest podcasts ever.
But if you think about
But that
Emily,
was all clippability. Like that all came from Instagram clips, which is why you need the social media aspect of it. You don't need it, but it helps a lot in discoverability.
I agree with you could be discovered in so many different ways now.
Yeah.
The lady who launched Glossier, she started with a blog, Enter the Gloss.
Yeah.
It became so popular. It became, I'm scanning over a lot of stuff, but it became Gloss as a brand, Glossier, right?
Okay.
She started from a blog when blogs were a thing. Mm-hmm. Podcasts are that blog. It's a thing to
it's
put
a catch-all word.
Blogs became very catch-all
Yeah.
for a long time.
Hey, I write stuff on the internet. Oh, you have a blog. Well, I don't call it a blog. You're like, it's
like,
a blog.
No, I do a newsletter.
I do a newsletter. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just an evolution of that. I think it's awesome. I think it's great because Bieber was discovered on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is just the evolution of all those things.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about AI-driven medium, characters, stories, actors.
Yeah.
We know a lot of places that are doing that. They're hiring humans who are great storytellers.
Yeah.
To craft the visual working with AI tools.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I saw your eyes roll so hard just now.
No, I was just thinking.
What were you thinking?
I don't know if I like that, but I don't know if I don't.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That was so pragmatic of you. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. We caught you on a good day.
Here we go.
I don't see that every day from you.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like when you have an opinion, like the paint comes off the walls, it feels it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just like I said, I like AI as a tool, but I believe that it needs human intervention or human help.
Intervention.
Yeah.
Gather around, like 12 of us around one Mac studio. I'd be like, hey, listen here, fucker. You're fucking up.
Hey, man. Okay.
You keep including those EMs and dashes in all your copy.
Yeah.
Like people haven't noticed that. That's like the hugest tell sign that you're copy pasting from AI.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
We need a hard rule, machines. Just stop.
Hard rule. Yeah. Well, that's why you gotta keep an eye on it. You gotta.
Oh yeah, sure. You could build a skill in OpenClaw for it, and it'll still ignore it.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. And then so you have to create. We've been creating enforcement layers lately.
Yeah.
To enforce the rules, the hard rules within the Heartbeat agents tools, and skills. Skills are just MD files.
Yeah.
Markdown files.
Yep.
I know I'm going off on a tangent. My bad.
Yeah, we'll save that for the AI episode.
Yeah, save that. Oh, I know you want to do that AI episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's such a big episode.
No, not really.
But getting back to podcasting
10 minutes,
content.
In and out.
10 hours in and out.
Maybe.
So I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
We're trying to grow the studio to be sustainable in that way. It is a challenge because in Los Angeles, shit's expensive. It just is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Overhead, running it. But the team of people we have working together, it's not like I love the crew.
It's a lot of work.
I love the vibes we create. I do like all the different people that come through these doors and their stories.
For sure.
It's crazy because that's
the part I love most about it is like we run the gamut. We've had I've done audiobooks for people.
That's right.
And that story was real fun and awesome to work for. I've done a lot of the tours. Not a lot. I mean, personally, I've been in not been in these conversations, but behind the cans during these conversations. Like there was, we get in some professors that talk about audio tours for the museum, for the, what is that one on the hill over here?
Getty,
yes.
You were stammering on Getty?
I wasn't stammering. I forgot what that name was. Yes, I've been in there.
Don't gaslight
I've been
me.
in the room.
We have it on film and audio.
I wasn't stammering. You're stammering. I've been in the room while they're talking about these exhibits that are going up, giving the audio tour, right? So that's the raw audio of what they take, cut down, and turn into these audio tours for the Getty. And it's just wildly fascinating, some of the stuff you hear. Sometimes you're in a conversation that I should have no business being a part of. Sometimes, sometimes it's really informative on the way that like the real estate market works because of who some of our clients are that come in.
I know.
We have religious conversations. It just run the gamut,
I do like that we've really had different.
It's like going to school.
You didn't like going to school.
I loved college. I went for 6 years.
You're like, I went for 12 years, 0 credits.
I love college. I loved it.
I do like the fact that we've had a multitude of cultures, political beliefs, faith-based beliefs, and it's worked.
It's eye-opening every single day.
Very human.
Yeah, it's very human.
I think that's also what I like about it is that we do. It's very tech. There's a lot of tech of what we do.
Yeah.
But it's also extremely human.
Yeah.
Extremely human. Mm-hmm. And the people who show up, they all have a backstory.
Yeah.
They all have a backstory.
For sure.
And it's so relatable. There is a lot of it, which, if you're ever feeling lonely, I think that's also one of the things I like about podcasts. You can find your people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can find a voice, you can find a perspective
that you relate to,
or you can just be contrast enough to where it you know what I mean? Where you get a little bit of that dynamic, because it does. Your pseudo relationships.
Yeah.
They do happen, man.
Parasocial, yeah.
Parasocial. Is that what you said? Parasocial, not pseudo relationships.
Yeah, parasocial.
See? I'm not claiming show for knowledge on this one.
No.
So where do you think studios, I mean, we've already seen it here, CBS over at the Grove, they're wanting to make more creator-led studios.
Yeah.
Culver Studios, a number of options. Amazon, with the Audible side of things, I know they've opened up a lot of their studios for people within their roster, right?
Yeah, you did the tour of that, yeah?
No, I haven't yet.
No, they didn't bring you on that tour?
No, because we met at Homeboy's house.
Copy, yeah.
When we were talking about that meeting. Like that's even more inside baseball, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. This again, hidden pixels. Do you think there's gonna be a I feel like I already know that answer. There's always a consolidation of these things.
Yeah.
You have a lot of players, and then it does consolidate in size. It's happened.
Owners of TikTok are buying Warner Brothers. You know what I mean?
Wait, which TikTok?
U.S. TikTok.
Ellison?
Yeah.
So Paramount's buying Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
The way you went roundabout on that and
I'm just saying,
that was so funny to me.
Is there going to be a consolidation?
But I haven't heard.
There's already a consolidation.
David Ellison's name used as the way you said it with the TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen?
Larry, but
they're putting Paramount with HBO.
Yeah.
Like they're putting all that content, getting rid of Paramount Plus, which they should because it's dog shit.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't.
They just got rid of BET Plus inside of Paramount,
and they're going to put it into HBO.
Yeah.
It's about time HBO gets the Flex brand that it deserves.
Yes.
I mean,
I was just on the phone with them yesterday. Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
About what?
About my account.
That was so good. I was fucking. That was really good.
Okay,
Did you steal that from somebody, or was that an original Don Don?
Actually, on the phone with
you
them
know
yesterday.
exactly the way you said it.
Well, the way you took it was
that's the way it sounded.
Yeah.
Leave a note in the. Is that what you heard?
Yeah.
That fucking sounded like I was really impressed. I'm like, damn, Brandon's turning into a salesman these days. You know, that was one of those things that was last to check the box, and you've been making sales lately, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay. Well, anyways. HBO is finally getting that brand, that Saslov. I will say, people are pissed about his compensation package, but I mean, somebody needs to be the bad person in that equation. Who
Yeah.
else was going to lead the charge of that sale? I mean, that's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
tough role to step into, and I don't think all the decisions he made I would side with whatsoever.
Yeah.
But shareholder value, if you're a shareholder, you made money. Maybe not as much as him, but you made money.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So with that,
he was really good to the people that lost their homes here in Los Angeles that worked for Warner Brothers. So I don't have a bad thing to say about him.
okay, now I'm going to say this only because it is film, right? We can use art to. So you're saying it was like American Gangster when Frank Lucas is working with his mentor and they're throwing out turkeys on Thanksgiving to everybody in the community?
Exactly like that.
You know what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Like
100% that exact scenario.
You know what I'm saying
Yes,
here.
I get
Like,
it. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, I mean, yes, I do believe that there is going to be a consolidation. There's already a consolidation going on. I take that back because there's people and new ways of finding ways to get your stuff out there as well.
A24's Miramax.
But
we always find a way
on a smaller scale. Do you know what I mean?
We always find a way, I feel like, especially creatives.
Yeah.
In any industry. I mean, you could argue tech is very much that. You'll see a small startup in tech take a behemoth on. They'll do it.
Yeah.
The Miramax A24 reference that I'm talking about, hopefully without, any of the toxicity. Time will tell. I don't know anything about it. I'm just, we will find ways to be discovered, to tell stories, authentic stories. There will be a desire for it because it's relatable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the reason why cassette tapes making come back.
Yeah.
Vinyl.
Shouldn't, but
I agree on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
The record, you could go to a song.
I love vinyl.
A CD you could skip. The tape deck? Come on. I'll remember it was taking a pen
like if
and
it
rewinding
gets stuck
it,
and you just have to pull it all in, you're like,
we're in that we're constantly in a transition period.
Yeah.
As long as humans stay curious, we're constantly in transition. We're constantly evolving. Now, the thing of that is incumbents, because it comes back to how things are monetized because of the way the economics work in our society. Obviously, we see it differently because of the perspective we have being in the United States than a lot of other countries.
USA. Yeah.
USA. Again, we don't need to go too far down that rabbit hole or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's exciting, right? Yeah. We get to see a lot of cool shit. There's a lot of cool stories being told.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm happy that we're doing this.
Right?
Yeah.
It does. It brings joy to our day for sure.
Yeah.
I like it's like anything else. If you're going to grind, it does. It feels good. We find joy in the process.
Yeah. If you're doing something you enjoy, then
oh my gosh, it's that cliche, right? Like Andrew Huberman introduced it in a number of ways. A lot of people have been reintroducing the cliches that were made generations before us in ways that we could understand. Yeah. Articulating things in the way every generation can understand seems to be something that always happens. I think this show has ran its course today.
Yes, it has.
But I've loved sitting with you as usual.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. All right.
All right.